It's still hilarious a few days later. Donald Trump and the supposed geniuses who run his campaign decided to put his name and campaign logo on a garbage truck. Think about that for a minute. Even with the endless stupidity of the Trump campaign and the bizarre antics of his followers, this one stands out. It stands out because these fools thought that they were being clever in response to a gaffe by Joe Biden. Big surprise. But instead, Trump made himself look like a complete fool as he donned a bright orange sanitation vest and sat in a garbage truck with his name and brand on it. It turns out that Trump's name on a garbage truck is the perfect metaphor for this deranged man in his hapless campaign. Adding further insult to injury, Trump looked like a feeble old man as he struggled to open the truck door and seemed to drag his lazy leg. Of course, we shouldn't make fun of old and obese people like Trump, but he's made a living mocking old and disabled people, so we'll make an exception for him. Naturally, this comically bad campaign stunt evoked memories of Michael Dukakis and his disastrous ride in a tank back in the 1998 campaign. Dukakis looked foolish. Trump looked even worse. This Sunday Girl Twitter account said it best as she described this fiasco as quite possibly the greatest self own in the history of American politics. Strangely, on the right, they were celebrating this. They actually thought this was a good idea, but it wasn't. And everywhere else, normal people looked at this and just laughed. This is Trump's second screw up that evoked the Michael Dukakis tank disaster. The week before Trump's tank moment, Trump dressed up like a McDonald's fry cook and pretended to cook fries and take orders. Again, he looked like a fool. This is par for the course for a campaign that has an insane candidate and a MAGA movement obsessed with memes, as opposed to any rational analysis about the issues facing the country. So, how did we get here? It started, of course, with Trump's insanely racist and offensive rally at Madison Square Garden, which evoked the American Nazi rally at the Garden back in 1939. It was a bad idea, of course, from the start. But the Trump campaign paraded a bunch of MAGA losers who made a series of offensive and racist statements. The highlight, of course, was comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, who made a joke about Puerto Rico being a floating pile of garbage. This infuriated Americans of Puerto Rican descent, and this has spread like wildfire in the Puerto Rican communities across battleground states like Pennsylvania and Florida. The Trump campaign tried to do damage control, but of course, Donald Trump is incapable of apologizing for anything. So the whole scandal kept getting worse. Then, of course, Joe Biden screws up and uses the word garbage in response to Trump's rally. But he does so in a way that makes it sound like he's talking about Trump supporters. Biden backtracked and tried to clarify right away. But the Trump campaign, the MAGA lunatics, and Fox News now had something to amplify as they tried to blunt the impact of the Puerto Rico joke. Never mind that Trump himself spews insults on a daily basis and has called the United States a pile of garbage. This was an opportunity for faux outrage on the right. And Trump, MAGA, and Fox News all feed off of this kind of stuff. But in their rush to take advantage of this, they somehow came up with the moronic idea to splatter Trump's name on a garbage truck and to dress Trump up in a way that made him look like an oversized Oompa Loompa, which naturally became its own meme on Twitter. So now we're left with the enduring images of the Trump branded garbage truck and Trump dressed up in a sanitation vest looking like a fool. And we have the video of Trump stumbling and bumbling and not able to open the door getting into the garbage truck. That's what everyone was left with. These are perfect symbols for a campaign that will hopefully end in bitter defeat on Tuesday.